Oh, yeah, big money, all right. Superstation 101 WIDE. It's Yellowhammer Radio. Andrea Ty, Scott Chambers. 34 minutes past the hour now on this 18th day of January, just 2 days out from the inauguration. Time now to talk to our man, Jeff Roberts. He's founder of Jeff Roberts and Associates. He and his team consist of 7 seasoned advisors. They share 125 years of financial planning with Ameriprise. Really cool fact you might not know about Jeff. Barron's Magazine has placed his team among the top 1,200 financial advising practices in the country 6 times. That's a big lead-in right there. Jeff, how are you doing today, my friend?
Fantastic, thanks. Hope you guys are doing well.
We are.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Yeah, I still I can't help but laugh when I hear the Rush theme song every time. It makes me
Are you a big
it.
fan of Rush?
I'm a fan. I'm an '80s music fan for
Nice,
sure. I mean,
nice.
you know, I grew up enjoying all the '80s stuff, so yeah, that's a good song. It brings back good memories, and it's themed appropriately for our talk today.
Well, what's on your mind today, Jeff Roberts?
Well, you know, I oftentimes speak about issues or topics that I'm commonly discussing with clients that come in the office, and sometimes it may be one particular client that made me think of something. And I'm having a lot of people asking questions now about the market, the stock market, which is really achieving high levels here in the last few weeks, months,
Yes, it is.
really since the election. And we saw a lot of volatility last year in 2016, crazy volatility, which we'll touch on. And so people are often asking, you know, what do I need to be doing if markets are going to be at highs or if markets are going to be crazy volatile like we saw last year? Any unique investment ideas? And so as crazy as it sounds, this is a very simple investment technique we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to drill down on it. It's basic, but it makes sense, and it's just simple dollar cost
basic.
averaging.
I like basic. Oh, a little DCA action. Okay.
Yeah.
Dollar cost averaging. It's, you know, by definition, dollar cost averaging is an investment technique of buying a fixed dollar amount of a particular investment on a regular basis. Now, regardless of the share price. So the investor purchases more shares when the prices are low and fewer shares when prices are high. And the premise of dollar cost averaging is that it lowers the average share cost over time and increasing an opportunity for profit. Now, the dollar cost average technique, you know, does not guarantee that an investor won't lose money on investments. There's nothing that can do that when it comes to the equity markets. Rather, it is meant to allow an investment over time instead of a lump sum investment strategy. So that's just the basic concept. And I thought we might walk through an example and talk about how it can apply, when it works, when it doesn't, today, if that sounds good to you guys.
Please do. Let's hear it.
I'm interested.
Okay, so now here's where I get a little analytic, and over the radio it's difficult. When I teach classes and things, this is a lot easier using a dry erase board, but for the listening audience, I want you to picture in your head or write on a piece of paper, we're going to go 3 months. I'm going to make up just a hypothetical dollar cost average situation, and all these numbers I'm using are completely made up. These aren't promises of returns or something. But let's assume we're going to do $100, and we're going to invest it 1 month, 2 months, and then the third month. And we could just make up the day and say like on the first. So if today is our first day of investing $100, and let's assume that the prices of the investment market we're buying in, we're going to be buying some sort of stock market or index, and the prices of the market are $50 a share. So if we put in 100 and the prices are $50 a share, here's the math question. How many shares do you buy?
Oh, I can answer this one. I'm pretty sure. 2 shares.
2 shares. You are spot on. There's my mathematician.
Woo. Awesome.
So if we think about January, in theory, we bought 2 shares, and let's assume, you know, if you're like one of those people that invests and always feels that we invest markets go in the wrong direction, and sure enough, you put your $100 in, and then just like you expected, the very next day, you're reading in the paper and the stock market drops, and it goes down. Let's just make up some scenario. Let's say it drops 50%. Okay. So prices in the market go from $50 a share to $25 a share. So you're literally seeing a 50% drop in the market.
Right.
Well, first of all, how are you feeling if you're investing and seeing your portfolio fall 50% in value?
I'm a little woozy right now, Jeff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're getting upset. So we jokingly say at the time that you're frustrated the most at a financial guy or somebody that's recommending a portfolio, when things look the worst, don't throw a brick through their window. But if you do, attach a check or some cash, because that's the time that you need to be putting money in. So your existing $100 that we put in January has fallen from $100 down to $50 because you have 2 shares now priced at $25 a share. But this month we're going to put in $100. In February, well, now we're in February, we put in $100. Prices are at $25 a share. How many shares do we buy?
4
Andrea,
shares.
your turn again. There we go.
Oh, sorry, I stepped on Andrea.
Scott got it. Scott got it.
I was keeping tabs over here. I was using my fingers and toes.
I should have given Scott a chance to have a victory there. So you have 4 shares. And so the next month, just as we know over time, markets always historically have picked up and continued to rise over the decades, which is a wonderful, wonderful truth. So let's assume that the markets rebounded and went back from the bottom of $25 a share back up to the $50 a share. So in month 3, we put in $100 and we buy now 2 shares at $50 each.
Okay.
So if you think about it, we've put in $300 total, and we had 2 shares in the first month, 4 shares in the second month, 2 shares in the third month. That's a total of 8 shares. Well, think about it. It's 8 shares priced at $50 each now, and so that's $400 total. You put in $300, and your investment's worth $400 in this particular hypothetical scenario, and the market never appreciated in value, meaning it never went up beyond $50 where you started. It just went down and came back. So the idea is, in this particular example, that you made money by the market going down.
Yeah.
But of course, what you did was you maintained your investment strategy of systematically investing. Now think about it. If the opposite were true, and when the market went down and fell 50%, and you didn't put in the $100 that month, and you skipped it, and then you waited until March and you put in your $100 when the market rebounded, well, you had no chance to make money. So this is the crazy statement. You actually, when you're dollar cost averaging, you can actually make more money when the market goes down. And so it kind of sounds contrarian, but yeah, you want the market to go down to gobble up as many shares as you can in low prices, because you want to have the most shares in your portfolio. And yes, over time, we need the portfolio to increase and shares to go up in value, no doubt. But when you're accumulating, it's good when prices go down as long as you're adding to the mix. So that's the basics on dollar cost averaging.
Sounds pretty cool to me, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like slow and steady and strategic wins the day over time.
It does. Now, let's give some application. And like, for example, last year in January and February specifically, if you looked at those 2 months and you looked at just the stock market itself, like the Dow Jones or the S&P 500, the market was down roughly around 11% in the first 2 months of last year. So if you invested $100,000 January 1, it was down below $90,000 if you put it in the U.S. stock market by the end of February. So, man, that's frustrating. If you were systematically adding to the portfolio or had broken up the $100,000 instead of at one time, you eased it into the market over a period of time, then you could stand to benefit from that. Now, what we know and what we tell clients is, of course, there's no timing markets, and sometimes it makes sense to go lump sum monies into the market as opposed to dollar cost averaging. A lot of this has to do with clients' individual risk tolerances, and if they're trying to avoid dips and swings in their portfolio, sometimes dollar cost averaging makes more sense, and sometimes lump sum investing can. So it does depend. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right.
But last year when we had crazy months of volatility like what we saw, big swings, dollar cost averaging can work very well. And sometimes when clients are seeing markets at an all-time high, kind of like now, and those people that have a lump sum of money that they'd like to enter into the market, but they're afraid of buying in high, spreading that lump sum out over time might be a more conservative approach to entering a market. But again, depends on the risk profile.
Sure. Yeah, that
Very
makes
interesting
sense.
stuff.
Well, and an example of that quickly is like a 401k plan. If you think about it, most people fail to connect the dots, and they realize that your 401k plan works so well because essentially you're dollar cost averaging. So people that have a 401k, 403b, an employer's plan, you're putting money in systematically out of every paycheck, which is that dollar cost average strategy, and it works so well there, but they're not employing that in any other parts of their financial wealth, which is why we tell people you need to have a savings goal, because most people just spend their money, what's left over they try and save, but that doesn't happen. You should have a goal to save a certain amount first and then spend everything else, because otherwise everything's going to get wound up in the spending stream.
Right.
And that dollar cost averaging is a good strategy.
Well, Jeff, if people want to talk to you about dollar cost averaging, tell them how to do so.
Love to hear from them at jeffrobertsandassociates.com, or give us a buzz at 313-9150, and we'd be happy to help define and work towards people's goals.
Very cool. Jeff, as always, it's great talking to you, getting some insight on how we should be looking at finances and investing. So we give Jeff a call, he and his team, Jeff Roberts and Associates. We look forward to talking to you again next Wednesday, Jeff.
Thank you all.
All right, have a great day. Jeff Roberts from Jeff Roberts and Associates. We'll be back right after this on Superstation 101.
This is Yellowhammer Radio.